like to invite down all the children in the parish that want to come up to the altar for our gospel and homily. And the big kids and the little kids, come on up. Wow, there's still a lot of kids in this parish. I was told that everyone graduated. You're all gone. Well, that's great, because you guys really are the future and the hope of the church. This is why we're really here. We're really here because of you guys. Most of your parents, I'm sure they'd rather be in bed, right? Or watching the game or doing something. But really, church is all about you all. It's all about you and you all listening to the stories. So that you in turn can pass that on when you get older, because you're going to be as old as your parents someday, right? Do you ever think about that? That someday you're going to be as old as your parents, and then you're going to do the same thing. You want to be able to pass it on, to pass on the story. And so that's what we do at church. We pass on the story. And so today we're going to talk about the story of the kingdom of Christ. So let's talk about that for a little bit. What does it mean that Jesus is the king? How is he a king? We don't really know much about kings, do we? Why don't you come on up? Anybody that wants to come on up and say something, come on up. What's a king? Do you know about a king or a queen?
It's someone who rules the world.
Someone who rules the world. It's obvious, isn't it? A king or a queen is someone who rules the world. So, well, how does a king rule? How do you rule? How do you rule the world? How do you rule? How does your mother and father rule you guys at home? How does that happen? Because it's sort of the same thing, isn't it? You know, your family's like a little nation, like a little country, and you have rules and regulations, the rules and the regs. So what are some of the rules in your family? Okay, stand up. We all have rules, and in a nation you have to have rules, and the king reminds us, these are the rules, these are the regs. So what are some of the rules in your family?
No running in the house.
Okay, no running around in the house. Okay, very good. What else? What are some of the rules in your family? You must have rules. You guys don't have any rules in your family? Anything goes, huh? I doubt it. Okay, what are some of the rules? Come on.
Don't play ball in the house.
Okay, don't play ball in the house. No running in the house. What are some of the rules?
No shoes in the house.
No, what was that? No what? No shoes. No shoes in the house. Okay, well, we laugh, but you know, in Japan, that's the custom. Before you come into the house, you take your shoes off. If you live in Japan. And some of you might end up visiting the beautiful country of Japan. What else? What are some of the rules? What are some of the rules in your house?
Don't give your food to your dog.
Okay, don't feed the dog your food, right? You're not supposed to do that. Okay, what else?
Help with my little brother.
Very good. Help your little brother. So you want to think about it. You have the don'ts. Okay, those are some of the rules. Don't do this and don't do that. But then some of the other rules are, you should do this, do that, and do thus and so. So some of the rules say don't, and some of the rules say do. Do this. Why do we have rules? Why does Jesus in the kingdom of heaven give us rules? Why do we have rules and regulations? Why don't you stand up? Do you want to say something else about a rule? Do you have another rule? Okay, what else?
Don't make a mess in the house.
Don't make a mess in your house. Okay, so don't make a mess. So you're supposed to clean up your bedroom, right? And clean up after yourself. What else?
Keeping the basement clean.
Keep that basement clean. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so we have rules and we have regulations. Why do we have rules and regulations, do you think? Why do we have rules and regs? Why? Come on, stand up.
Like for us not to hurt ourselves.
Okay, very good. So we don't hurt ourselves. So you're not supposed to run in the house because you might hurt yourself, right? You might bump into something. You don't throw balls in the house because you might hurt somebody else. You might break something. Why do we have rules and regs?
To keep the house running.
To keep the house running. To keep the house running. And that's what it's all about. That's what the kingdom of heaven is all about. That's what the King of Kings is all about. That's what our Christian faith is all about. To keep the house running. To keep the nation running. To keep the whole thing running. Going smoothly so we don't get hurt. So we don't hurt one another. And so this is what Jesus taught. Jesus taught this great lesson about life and about heaven and about how it all works. And this is why Jesus came, and this is why Jesus died on the cross. And this is why he loved, and this is why he did all these miracles. And this is why he taught in the temple and on the street corners. And this is why he gave his life. So that the whole thing could work. And you know, when you think about it, you think about Western civilization, and you think about what Christians have achieved, what Catholics have built, our entire civilization, all of our institutions, our hospitals, our universities, all of our healthcare, social services, all of these institutions are very particular to the West. You start thinking about it, how different the West is from the rest of the world. When you really start thinking about how our institutions are very different from the institutions of the other parts of the world. These institutions are the way they are, partly because of this great tradition, this great Judeo-Christian tradition, which has been handed down from generation to generation. And this is why we come to church. This is why we bring our kids to church, to pass on this great tradition that has made the world, or tries to make the world, a better place. This is why we come to church. This is why we make sacrifices. And this is what our faith produces. Our faith produces culture. Our imaginations become expressed in what we build and what we paint and the films we make and the stories we write, the culture we build.